What's up, gang? We are down here in the Morlock tunnels, in the grime and the muck with our boy Toad to show off his stance. Now, what is this called? I think this is Frog Stance. Very, very easy. So, what is Frog Stance? Frog Stance is just like a lot of other stances in this game. Uh, he just can kind of bounce around. You can't block in the stance, and you have access to a whole bunch of strings. A lot of his strings incorporate existing moves from his toolkit, um, and he has some unique moves specifically in this stance. So that's pretty cool to see. And this is actually I want to say this is even better than Beast's stance. So let's go into how we get into this. So first way is 4-3-3. There we go. So this is actually overhead, low, overhead, I think. Right? Overhead. So let's actually see this. Yeah, overhead. This is like a tricky string. Let's do a what? Okay, so it's overhead, low, mid. So really good stuff there. Then we also have this, which is overhead, low. And if you do this appropriately, it's an infinite. You gotta be a little tight on the timing. Right? But that is an infinite. So this will take you whoop, back 3-3. So let's clear this up again. It is 4-3-3. Bonk. So 4-3-3, back 3-3, and then I think I had maybe one more. Oh, forward, 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 and then you hold down, and you sort of bounce back into it. There's also this weird glitch where if you you kind of like dash forward and like kind of glitch out. It's super weird. This is if you hit forward, you're sort of, and then you like teleport in front of them. That's right. So that's where you're supposed to land. But if you hold forward, he kind of like does a little dive. I don't understand it, and that's okay. So those are the ways that I'm aware of. There's probably more, but that's neither here nor there. If you guys find any, ping me, let me know, pop it into the Discord. By the way, you should totally join our Discord. Talk about X-Men. I've got a bunch of my content in there. Regularly talk about the game. Yeah, it's cool. I'll include it in the video description. But what can you do here? Well, he's got a lot of different strings. So this here has insane range, and it's a low, which is crazy to me. Like, that is insane. So not only that, you get a fairly decent launcher. Now, like, if you were to do something like this, you're in range for that, right? And that's like not super risky. Like if you were, especially if you were to land it. I mean, it would stink that you didn't get your infinite, but that's okay. You're like fairly safe out here. Also in this stance, it should be noted that he is really low to the ground. So a lot of highs will miss him. Beams will go over his head, stuff like that. So this is like a really tricky stance to just pull off because nobody will expect how low to the ground you are. So he has a bunch of strings out of this. He has Lola, or excuse me, not Lolo, but just low. So this is 1-1. He also has 1-1-1, and you can land that drop kick at something. You know, it lands. There you go. We also have 1-1-2. We get that little blip. You've also got 1-1-3. Now, this works a little bit better if I would assume like maybe you're like here, and maybe the you didn't launch them up, maybe they blocked it. That this guy here is an overhead. Bonk. Then we also have 1-1-4. Oop, not 1-3-4, but 1-1-4, and you get that. So that's kind of a weird one. I believe we also have 1-1. No, we don't have that yet. So I'm going to show off a couple more. So that's all your strings from just 1-1, right? 1-1, 1-1-1, 1-1-2, 1-1-3, 1-1-3, and 114. So there you go, not too bad. You've also have 1-2. Now that's actually really cool. This is a cool thing. So if you space this appropriately and you land it, you actually get 1-1 or 1-2-2, which is a launcher. So let's try that one more time. 1-2-2. Spacing maybe a little bit spacing dependent, but there you go. 1-1-2, and that will launch if you hold up. There's also, I believe, 1-1-3. I actually wrote, or 1-2-1-2-3. Excuse me. Bonk, and you can get a super after that. 1-2-3. After the jump, you actually have normal recovery, so you recover standing instead of in stance. And then I believe you also have 1-3 or 1-2, 1-2-4, and you get a dash in. Or a slide in, but you're still in stance. So it looks like you have, like quite a bit of frame advantage there. So you could go low with 3 or 1. Or you could just do 4 for an overhead. So you also have Frog Stance 2. So Frog Stance 2 is only comboable into itself. It doesn't do anything else. But you do get stuff like that. So if you do exit out of stance, it's really like, this is not, that's not really something you should be doing. It's kind of funky, but you can do something like that, and then you can actually combo, into your other stuff. So you can just wait for them to land, and you can do other stuff. But this is just a button on its own. But the launcher will allow you to do, again, other things like, just into straight 4. Combos into itself. Boing. You can, if you have the distance for this appropriate. Let's see, like right about here. Boing. And sometimes he'll reorient himself, but you can do that. You also have, so these are 3. So 3 is a low, which is pretty great. 3-2 is this. You probably have seen the AI do this. All the time. This is actually 1+2, but we'll get into that. So you can do, like, this is the only thing you've got. That's the only thing, the string, and then you have 3-3, which is just 2 hops for whatever reason. I'm not quite sure why that is, why you can't get more. So you can do 3-3-3, and that's it. So whatever. You can also do, I believe, yeah, that's it. Then for 4, you can do 4, 4, 4, and you get 3 hops out of that, which is great. Like, it's fairly good damage for 3 hits. Actually, like, great damage for 3 hits. And then you can get level 1. You can dash up and get level 3 or level 2. There's a lot of stuff you can do there. Let's build our meter back. And you can also do 4-2 at any point in any of these. Boing, and you can hit him again. There you go. You can also do just 1+2, and that'll just do that raw. So that is the gist of Frog Stance. There's a lot there. And I think this stance is actually more usable, if not abusable, than Beast. There's not a lot that goes into this that actually like combos like Beast, but the fact that you've got this dirty low from so far away is like, that's cool. I think there are other ways to sort of like set up enough frame advantage to like make this like, like there's a world in which if they just get up, like that crosses up if they're holding backwards, right? Like that would be cool. There are other things where, like, again, like this could just be a surprising overhead if I didn't have somebody, if I didn't have them set to block. It's an interesting punish opportunity. Suddenly you're here, you've got that, you actually land that, you can land your launcher. Yeah, like I would say in general, I find this stance to be slightly more usable. Just because you get the option to, like, you're relatively safe. You're relatively safe here. right? Like any of these, like this, obviously you can get punished in the recovery of that. But if they're not pretty quick, maybe they're getting launched for their troubles, and then you can do, what Toad does. Um, so I think this is great, frankly. I think the low overhead is tricky. Um, but again, like it's just risky, man. It's just risky. At least Beast can combo into this and get some damage and actually use it offensively. Um, Guaranteed off of some combos, off of whiff punishes. This you basically break every combo to exit or to enter into the stance. So, it's really neat. I think it's a cool part of his game. Um, there's like you could do stuff like, you know, uh, I think maybe there's not another way to get into this that I'm aware of, but this is kind of tricky. But I think it's cool. I do think it's a cool stance. Um, that's it. If I miss something, let me know. There's always the possibility that I could miss tons of stuff because the guide isn't that great. Um, is there anything else I want to talk about? I think the only other thing I want to talk about is the fact that the guide doesn't include this down throw for him. And the fact that you get a level 1 off of it is cool. I think there might have been something else, but not super important. That is Frog Stance. I think Beast Stance is still technically better because you can actually use it in combos. And there are multiple ways to set up his infinite. This is the second best stance in the game, I think. Whereas Gambit has the dumpster diving, the raging dumpster fire of stances in this game. So that's it. Talk to y'all later. Like, comment, subscribe. Definitely hit me up here in comments or pop into the Discord and say hello. Would love to talk to y'all. That's it. Peace out.